Meridian 101 is a movement. It's a bunch of people coming together who are very passionate about this self-healing technique. We learn and we give a lot of talks. So our mission is to promote a very easy to learn Meridian 101 therapy to every family in the whole wide world. Okay, so that is our vision, that every family across the whole wide world can be healthier, can be less dependent on chemical drugs, stay healthy with this technique. You will find that this technique is very simple. We teach it in a very practical manner. And hopefully, if you were to have the opportunity to attend our talks and also our workshop, especially our physical workshop, you'll find that it's really delightful. Since 2007, it's been 15 years and going strong. We are now in 9 countries and growing across the continent into China, into India, into Africa as well. So we are very happy that Meridian 101 has made an impact in lives of thousands and tens of thousands. And we hope to continue to pursue this passion and this vision. And of course, we welcome more like-minded friends amongst you to join us so that we could hold hands and make this movement truly a global one. In the face of COVID especially, it makes tonight's talk a lot more meaningful. Immunity is going to be really, really important. Our immunity is our first line of defense. It's also our last line of defense. So it's really important to boost up our immunity, enhance it so that it works at a peak performance level on a day-to-day basis. So hopefully tonight's session, you will take away a very easy but a very potent way of fairly quickly boosting up your immune system to its peak performance level. Now, but before I get into the crux of the technique, let's understand a little bit about meridian therapy, the human figure that is shown on this slide here with lots of light that is being drawn all around the body. Now, these are actually meridian lines along our body. Now, but if you cut the body up, you can't see the line physically inside our bone or inside our flesh, yeah? But these are energy pathways. So much like blood vessel is the pathway that carries the blood, which is physical. Meridians are the invisible pathways that are lined along our entire body. But what it carries carries energy. And in the Chinese, we call it the qi. And in Japanese, it's called ki. And in Indian, it's called prana. In the traditional Chinese medicine methodology, I would use a river system to kind of like describe what meridians are. So meridians are like rivers that connects the entire human body, all right? And the water are like the blood, and the currents of the blood is the qi. And the rivers are the meridian then. So the lakes represent the organs. So all these organs need to function well when they are well supplied with not just water and blood, which is physical, but also energized along the way with qi. So along the body, you have lots of points. We call them acupressure points. And these are like the dams or the gates along a river system. So if the gates or the dams are blocked, then what will happen is that the water will not flow right in the river system and the lake will become stagnated. Now, a stagnated lake is not good news, yeah, because water that is stagnated, and then eventually what will happen to the aquatic animals and the plants and everything that's in there, they will all die, isn't it? Anything that is stagnated is not good news, yeah, including even the world, right? Including even in the city, humans need to move along the MRT system or the road system so that the entire city will come alive, right? So if nothing moves, then that is like a desert, yeah, the whole place will become dead, yeah. So in the traditional Chinese medicinal concept, when there's an ease of flow of qi, when the ease of flow of energy, then we are in good health. But when there's a disease of flow, then you end up with having disease. The play of word is also very apt, isn't it? So you want to prevent any form of disease of the flow of the qi. So in the TCM system, what is really, really critical and important, all the meridians are interconnected together. when you have a disease in one part of the body, over a period of time, it will affect other parts of the body. So it's really important that the moment you find some disease or some discomfort, your body is giving you the signal that, hey, there's an alarm bell, please take care of me. Yeah. And so the Meridian 101 is a system whereby you will learn your meridians, how they related to different parts of the systemic health. And then you can take early enough preventive care. In fact, the best is that you practice meridian therapy on a day-to-day basis so that you will never get sick in that sense. Right? Just like brushing your teeth to prevent tooth decay. So we have 14 main meridians on the left and right and 2 midline meridian front and back. Collectively, we have 14 major meridians that we teach during full Meridian 101 series workshop. So how then do you activate the meridian to prevent the stagnation of qi? In other words, you want to make sure that the circulation of qi is going well. Now, there are different modalities, and some of the very easy to learn techniques would be knowing where are your acupressure point and how to stimulate it is called acupressure. And then there's this gua sha method. We will not cover it today, but we will cover it during the workshop. And this is a very powerful modality whereby you use this tool called a gua sha board and you scrape along your meridian, opens up the meridian, and it allows the qi, the stagnation of the qi, to flow with ease. So these two are the technique that we teach during the Meridian 101 workshop. Very easy to learn, and it is able to be mass educated to everyone. It's unlike, say, acupuncture. Of course, acupuncture using a needle is another modality. However, acupuncture using needle, you have to be very precise and you have to be trained to a much higher level. So that is not a technique that can be taught to everybody around the world. But unlike acupuncture, acupressure and gua sha are very easy to learn, and even a 6-year-old boy or girl would be able to master it with a little bit of training by some of the Meridian 101 ambassadors like us. When you use acupressure and you use gua sha, it is about you mechanically trying to promote the flow of the qi. But very often when you are low bat, it's like your mobile phone, right? When the mobile phone is in a low battery conditions, you need external energy to get in and charge it up. So it's similarly in our human body, when we are very low in our energy, manifesting itself in terms of illness, in terms of low immunity, for instance, what you would need is an external source of energy to kind of charge you up. Many modalities across the world, whether it's the West or the Eastern, the Indian, the Egyptians, the Chinese, now we all use herbs. Remember that herbs come from plant, and plant is an external source of living organism that absorb the solar energy from the sun, and it convert it into another form of energy that allow us to survive, to thrive. So you have different herbs that is tuned, and this is something that has been found out by the Chinese in the traditional Chinese medicine like 3,500 years ago, that magnolia herbs has an energy that vibrate along with our lung and large intestine meridian. It just amazes me till today how the Chinese kind of like empirically discover it, 3,500 years ago, when they have no modern apparatus or microscope or energy testing stuff and all that. But magnolia has a positive impact on the health of our lung and large intestine meridian, and so on and so forth. Then you have patchouli, you have forsythia, you have angelica, you have valerian, and a whole thousands and thousands of different herbs. So if you go to a traditional Chinese doctor, they will have lots of drawers, and each drawer you have some dry herbs of different nature, and they are trained after many years, 10, 20 years of training, and empirical experiences. They know how to mix and match the different herbs to give you the right concoction to help you with your ill health. That obviously is too complicated to learn for any one of us. So we are very grateful to this company called Avita. Avita, in conjunction with the Yangming Medical University from Taiwan, they have done decades of research into herbs, into the Eastern wisdom or traditional Chinese medicine, and combining it with the Western technology of biotechnology. And outcome is this 8 bottle of oil. Yeah. So these 8 bottle of oils are what we call energy in a bottle. This form of herbal essential oil is quite different from aromatherapy. So it's not just about smelling, but it's more about applying on the right acupressure point to allow the energy from inside this bottle to infuse into our meridian system, to charge up our meridian system. So that really encapsulates the basic science and concept behind the Meridian 101 therapy. Each bottle of oil has a different concoction of different major herbs of a certain vibration that will vibrate with certain meridian. Yeah, so that is the concept behind meridian therapy. So now, before we practice meridian therapy, we always advocate try not to take alcohol, painkiller, especially. You know why? Because all your acupressure point has a certain sensitiveness to your nervous system. And if the energy is flowing well, you will feel fairly comfortable. But when the energy is not feeling well, your body is very honest. It gives you the signal through the sensation of pain. And when you press at a certain acupressure point along a specific meridian, for example, and when there are blockages along that meridian, the acupressure point upon pressing will gives you a sensation of pain. So it is not a good idea to take painkillers before you do any form of meridian therapy, because you want your body to give you that feedback. And we also advocate that you drink a lot of water, because when you're doing meridian therapy, you are effectively detoxing your body. So drink more water and the water will carry the toxin out. Now, what happens when your computer is not kind of like stuck? What do? You reboot the system, isn't it? The human reset is like a reboot for our human system. Yeah, it's very powerful. It's very easy. I would like to guide you through this human reset. On the surface, it looks really simple, but underneath it, there's some good science. Yeah, TCM science underneath it. And I hope that you will take away some of this idea behind it. Now, I'm not conducting a very advanced program. If you are interested in advanced program, you can sign up for the Meridian 101 Ambassador Mastery course. That is when you're going to learn quite in-depth about the 5 elements. The 5 elements is the TCM concept about what make up the entire existence. It's quite intuitive. You think about a wood, fire, earth, matter, and water. In TCM, it's all about balance. Too much of the fire is no good, too much of wood is no good, too much of water, you get flood, too much of the earth, you get landslide, for instance. So you could kind of like understand the impact of the 5 elements in the macrocosm, in other words, in the outer universe. Yeah. But do you know that within your inner universe, there is also a matching 5 element that is within your inner universe? Wood element is your gallbladder and your liver meridian. And your fire element is your heart meridian, your pericardium. The earth is represented by the spleen and stomach meridian. And then your matter is your lung and large intestine. Water is your kidney and bladder meridian. So you notice that these 5 elements, how it impacts our outer universe. Now, all the meridian within our body impacts our inner universe. So within it is a very deep and very expensive traditional Chinese medical science and concepts and a body of knowledge about how this all impact one another. Human reset, the 5 points that I'm going to teach you correlate to these 5 elements. Now, without a sun, there will be no life on earth. When we practice the human reset, there is a relation to the sun as well. Due to the flow of the qi along our midline meridians, in the morning, you should practice with the back facing the sun. That will give you a better activation of energy to improve the human reset circulations. And in the afternoon, you should practice it facing the sun. Now, which are the 5 points that I'm going to teach you, why we call it human reset. There are many acupressure points, thousands and thousands of acupressure points along the entire human body. I put a map here. It could have been a map of any city. It could be Singapore, it could be Malaysia, it could be anywhere. I happen to choose Malaysia. If you correlate acupressure point to be like the train station or the MRT station, KL Central on this picture here is like the center of all the station. All the station will come to the KL Central, which is like the confluence. So the acupressure point that I'll be guiding you guys tonight are called the Yuan Xue, which are like the source acupressure point. These are like the KL Central. Now, these are very important acupressure point along the 5 elements within our human body. And if you could know how to use the right energy to activate and to energize these 5 acupressure points, it will then create a magical interrelated energy flow within our human body that will beef up our entire overall health and especially our immune system. So now I'm going to just introduce the 5 acupressure point. Number 1 point is correlating to the wood element. It's called Tai Chong point. And then the number 2 point, it goes from the left leg to the left hand. It's called the Da Ling point. And then it goes to the right hand side now, which correlate to our lung meridian, the Tai Yuan point, and then go back down to the leg kidney meridian. It's called the Tai Si, and finally it's come back spleen meridian, which is called a Tai Bai point. The idea of these figures is just to show you the circulations of the qi from one meridian to the next meridian that is based on the entire 5 elements. So we want a good flow of qi along the 5 elements within our inner universe. Let's start with the first point. Okay, this is Tai Chong point. It's one of the very important detoxification point in our human body on our liver meridian. Now, the oil to use is Forsythia Detox oil, and its energy is able to activate the liver meridian. And along liver meridian, Tai Chong point is Yuan Xue, a very important acupressure point along this. So how do you activate this? Very simple. You just need to pour 1 or 2 drops of this oil onto this point, and then you massage. Please exert a little bit of pressure to stimulate the point. Now, this point is very, very good for your liver meridian, which governs your detoxification mechanism in your body. You rotate clockwise 50 to 100 times, anti-clockwise 50 to 100 times, okay? And then you move on to your left hand. We call it the Da Ling point. Da Ling point is very easy to find, right in the middle of your wristline. Now, Da Ling point is along your pericardial meridian. Pericardial meridian governs the heart, your nervous system. So if you have like heart palpitations, you're always having high blood pressure or low blood pressure, or you're always having depression, for instance, okay, this is a very useful point to help you to calm down and to relax as well. Okay, so this is also a relaxation point. So what oil do you use? You use Nepenthe and you use Hinoki. Okay, now why do we use 2 oil? Because there are 2 different purposes. Hinoki helps with concentration, calming. Nepenthe also calms, but Nepenthe relaxes you and help you to go to sleep. So we do not recommend you use Nepenthe in the daytime when you need to work, you want to study, and you need to drive around, for instance. In the daytime, you use Hinoki. Really good for meditation as well. Really good for if you're studying for exam. Hinoki is very good for concentration. If for those of you who have sleep disorder, who find hard to fall asleep, who need some help to get to sleep, then Nepenthe is a very good relaxation oil to de-stress, to relax, and promote deep sleep. So that is the Da Ling point. Same 50 to 100 times clockwise, followed by 50 to 100 times anti-clockwise. So when you're doing this, it's good to have the sun. So in the morning, the sun should shine onto your back, and in the afternoon, it should shine right in front of you. Okay. Then so from the left-hand side, now we move over to the right-hand side to your lung meridian, and it's called the Tai Yuan Xue. Now, Tai Yuan Xue, you use the Farnesol Magnolia, one of the most powerful oil among the 8 oil. Okay, this oil has super high anti-inflammation property. This is the oil to use to beef up your respiratory system, especially during the COVID situation now. It helps with cough, cold, fever, flu, bronchitis, asthma, sinus, okay, anything to do with respiratory health. Now, it's also very good for relieving of inflammation as well as allergy. How do you find this point? It's really easy as well. Please look at Daphne's. It's along your lung meridian. And yes, thanks Chongping for reminding everybody, Magnolia, because of its high anti-inflammation property, is really good for burns, for cuts, for any kind of wounds as well. It promotes healing. So from your right hand, it goes down to your right foot. And this is going to be your kidney meridian. Now, this point is also a very important point. It's called Tai Si point. This point, you have 2 oil as well. Angelica Ardent, which is Tang Gui. Chinese will know the power of Tang Gui. You have masculine as well. Now, this is a yin and a yang oil. For myself, I love to put the 2 together. I would like to put 3 drops mixed together, and you have a good balance of the yin and yang. Tang Gui is especially powerful in promoting blood flow and promoting creation of blood, whereas masculine is really good in promoting the qi flow. So blood and the qi xue is very important. So how do you find this point? You're already seeing it in being demonstrated by Daphne. So it's right behind the ankle bone. So it's quite easy to find this point again. Now, you are not doing acupuncture, so you are not really required to know exactly where is the point. Okay, as long as you put the oil around there, okay, just massage around it, okay, 100 times clockwise, anti-clockwise 100 times. Important thing is to stimulate the point, okay, stimulate a bigger area around the point is also okay, and allow the oil energy to get into the system. So that is the crux of it, yeah? So you do not need to know the exact location, but you need to roughly know where it is. This is one of the points that helps with your kidney meridian, which governs your sexual health, your reproductive health, things to do with menopausal symptoms, PMS issues, and sperm count, and the ability to bear children, for instance. So kidney meridian is a very important meridian to take care of if you want to make sure that you have good childbearing capacity and sexual health. All right, and these are the 2 oils that will create that benefits for you in that regards. And finally, you have 4 points so far, and you circle around back to your left foot now. Okay, it's called the D.I.Y point. It's along your spleen meridian. Spleen and stomachs are really important for the digestive health of your body. The oil to use is called Huo Xiang. And Huo Xiang is one of my favorite oil. Yeah, it smells really good. It helps people with digestive weaknesses, and I personally have digestive weakness, and so this oil is really a super oil for me to take care of. The point that you need to take care of is this called D.I.Y. So it's right at the back, just to the rear of that bone that juts out behind your big toe. Yeah, so it's also quite easy. And for those of you with digestive weakness, when you activate this point, I won't be surprised that you'll feel a little bit sensitive. For your information, lots of older folks, okay, will have a weakness in their digestive system because they start to degenerate. As a result, even though they may be taking lots of good stuff, good food, good supplement, for instance, if your digestive system is no good, you will not be able to absorb the goodness of that. Yeah. So older folks tend to wither away because they are unable to absorb the good stuff from the food intake. Yeah, so it'd be really important to take care of their digestive health. So one of our workshop called the Detox workshop actually teaches how to boost the energy in our stomach and spleen meridian energy. Yeah, so that will help in the absorptions of food. So these are the 5 points. If you look at it, you know, these are the 5 points, and we use all the oils. One oil that I did not cover, which is a vitamin meridian essence. This is the GPS oil. Yeah, this is like the rocket that piggyback all the little oil, okay, together the specialized oil, okay, and it finds the meridian for you. Yeah, so this oil alone is very powerful. For children who are younger than 8 years old, we can use exclusively this oil for all their massage and acupressure purposes. Yeah, but for the Adult, if you have certain weakness and you want to do very deliberate preventive care, then all the specialized oil will come in combination with this big oil. This particular oil has about 20 over different herbs that is combined to give you the very good. It's like a pathfinder for the rest of the oil. These are the 5 elements. Okay, we can wood, fire, metal, water, etc. And it has a color as well. Every color has its energy. Everything is energy. Yeah. So different herbs has different energy that affects different systemic health of our human body. The doorways for each of these energy system within our body, or the acupressure point. And I've shared with you the 5 major, very important acupressure point. And if you stimulate it together with the oil, then it will circulate the chi flows in a magical way that will beef up your immunity. So we have got everyone, families, children, people practicing human reset all over the world. You could see some of this picture here. I find very delightful whenever we receive such pictures on our WhatsApp, in a Facebook, and family sharing their goodness, their benefits, benefits to children, benefit to the old folks at home, and of course to all the busy working adults. And I would say that especially during now the COVID-19, you want to boost the immunity level of yours as much as possible. And you have wonderful sharing testimony. Like this is the leg of a daughter of one of our associate. Luckily, she graduated from our Meridian 101 ambassador course. Suddenly, for no reason, the daughter came out with these rash conditions, and immediately she practiced a human reset with the oil. Within days, it clears up. She wrote this and sent it to us, and we are very grateful for the sharing of her experience, so that you will help other people who might have a similar unexplained rash conditions. And we have this school in Muar, Malaysia. This is a school whereby many children of varying degree of learning disability, some are slow learners, some are special needs children, and some of them are autistic children. And the principal and the teacher of this school use the entire series of oil along with the Meridian 101 techniques, and has helped many of these children, not just the children, they conduct training for the parents as well, so that the children get help not only in school, but they get help by their parents on a daily basis at home. And they have given a lot of testimony of how many of these family and their children have benefited. In particular, many of these children are hyper, and when they practice the Meridian 101 techniques, it calms them down so that they can receive the therapy, they can receive the education, assistance, and support in a much better capacity. And Meridian 101 has really gone on to everywhere. Yeah, these are our Filipinos, trainers, as well as practitioners, as well as learners. Okay, they practice Meridian 101 across the whole Philippines. Philippines is a very big country. Yes, we did it in Australia as well, in Taiwan. This is Malay friends who practice it in Perth, Australia. She felt energized, she felt lighter. This is what it is. When your energy is flowing well, you feel good. And when you feel good, you're supposed to feel lighter. Conversely, when you're not well, how do you feel? You feel heavy, isn't it? You feel your leg is like 10 kilograms heavier. So stagnation of qi will give you that feeling of heaviness, and good health will give you the feeling of lightness. Okay, yeah, that is something intuitive, I suppose, to everybody. Yeah, and I'm very glad to say that the Meridian 101 chief trainer, Huo Xiang, and she has brought Meridian 101 along with her medical missions to Nepal, and she has been conducting medical missions every 2 years. Of course, now COVID, she couldn't go. Otherwise, she would be there at once every 2 years and helping hundreds and hundreds of poor villagers learn how to take care of themselves by activating their flow of the qi. Really very proud of Xiang for doing such good work. And I brought Meridian 101 to this home for street children. They have 200 over street children who live there. They're very poor and they have not much medical facility. I'm very grateful to many of my associates here who donated many bottles of oil. And the children there are practicing Meridian 101 on a daily basis as a form of preventive healthcare. Sometime in this year, Hopefully in the Q2, we will start up a social enterprise by some of the youth there in doing Meridian 101, not just as an in-house preventive care routine, but to teach it to the community as well in a form of a social business, so that they can learn how to earn a dignified income. So yes, we are training social entrepreneur over in Africa. And those of you who are keen to partner with me, I would love to hear from you. So leave your name in the chat group. And we do this meridian therapy all over the world, different cities as well. Now they're starting to open up in many cities. Many companies are now knocking on our door, requesting us once again to conduct preventive care in the workplaces, because it helps them to reduce the sick leave, it empowers the staff to take care of themselves well. And we brought Meridian 101 to schools, to corporate, to international, to communities. Meridian 101 is something that is not just good for us individually and for our own family, but we can use this modality to help many, many people, as a form of community service and teaching as well. And this is the reason why I'm very grateful to many like-minded partners who will come along with me and turn it into a full-time career as a full-time business. It's a global business. We train our partners through the Meridian 101 Ambassador Mastery course. We conduct it 3 times a year in Singapore, and the fee is $1,600, which include a full set of oil. This is a no-nonsense 39-hour programs that train you to be a professional Meridian 101 practitioner, so that you could participate together with us and bring it to anywhere on earth and make it into a sustainable and profitable business. So you will learn 3 things. Okay, you will learn the skill, which is really important, your acupressure skill and your gua sha skill. And then you will learn the knowledge of the essential oil, okay, the herbs, the 5 elements. There are a lot more to be taught, the body clocks and all. And at the same time, in order to run this successfully and sustainably and profitably, you need to be grounded on the entrepreneurship program. So the business know-how will ground you on how we build this business, not just in one country, but across the whole wide world. Obviously, there are millions of people waiting to hear about us. We are always short of people. If you are keen to know more about the Meridian Ambassador course, please contact the person who invited you. So the next course, I'm glad to announce that it will be in March. That's about 2 months away. So there's sufficient time for you to gain the basic grounding before you start the program. So we require you to have completed all 5 Meridian 101 workshop, the basic stuff, before you get into the Ambassador course. Because once you get into the Ambassador course, it's advanced stuff. So you do not want to get to the university before you graduate from your high school, okay? Right, so this is the human reset. A short talk tonight just to introduce, and it's very simple. It's just 5 points, If you do not have the oil and you wish to purchase the oil, please just ask the friend who invited you. If you are in any of the 9 countries, namely Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, Australia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Philippines, we can get the oil to you very quickly, because most of this country, we have a country office set up in one of the city in the country. So remember, know the right point first, roughly. You don't need to know exactly, but you know the right point. Use the right oil, that's most important. And then you'll always get the right joint, okay? Tonight, I've just kind of like quickly introduced the 5 points and what oil to use on the points. But in the workshop, we go into much more detail about the oil, where are all the various points along the various meridian. So I'll just give you a quick rundown on these 5 workshops. Starting with the top right-hand side, we have the Meridian 101 for everyone. I say everyone because everyone should really attend this workshop. Because firstly, it's about respiratory health. Your lung meridian and large intestine meridian, very, very important, especially during the COVID-19 times now. Beef up your lung meridian, your respiratory system, so that to increase the resistance and the immunity level of your respiratory system. And second is your energy system or vitality system, which is governed by your kidney and your bladder meridian. Your kidney bladder governs your energy. Energy governs your reproductive system. Why? Because reproductive system is about reproducing a new baby, which is creating energy into matter, which is a little baby. So your reproductive system is very, very important. If you're low in energy in the system, you will feel fatigued easily. Those are the symptoms that you want to beef up, okay? Right across, you have Meridian 101 De-Stress. Very, very popular workshop. Yeah. All the corporates, organization that invite us to go in and give talk, they will always request for this particular talk. Yeah. Why? Because everyone is stressed. And today's paper says that during the pandemic, most workers work about double the amount of hours. That's terrible. I mean, mental stress is going up. Children's stress is also going up. Okay, insomnia is climbing, depression is an issue, and stress in your internal system will then manifest itself in a form of stiff neck, stiff shoulder, aching everywhere. So de-stress is really, really a very popular workshop. Highly recommend it. And then we come to women, how to prevent breast cancer, which is climbing steadily across the whole wide world. All right. Of course, for women, you want slimming. How do you slim naturally and safely and also effectively? In a woman workshop, typically, if it's a physical workshop, we prefer to have a woman trainer teaching all women participants so that you have that privacy and you can go a little bit deeper into woman issue. Yeah. Then right across, you have detox. I would say is really important in about 2 weeks' time because the Chinese New Year is coming up. We'll be eating and eating and eating and lots of junk stuff and all that. Detoxification is really crucial, and detoxification is based on your liver and your gallbladder meridian. Okay, and closely related to liver and gallbladder is your stomach and spleen meridian, which governs your digestive system. So detox is about detoxification and digestive system 2-in-1. Very important workshop for today's health. And finally, right smack in the middle, you have facial reflexology. We all know about foot reflexology, but do you know that on your face, there are a lot of acupressure points that are reflex zone for the internal health of your body. And at the same time, when you do a facial reflexology using Huo Xiang method, okay, you have a very good side effect, and that is an immediate tightening and upliftment of your face. Regular facial reflexology, like once a week, it will help you to lessen your wrinkle, and also it will help you to reduce your pigmentation on your facial skin. So there you go, 5 workshops. We conduct it in singular workshop, and for the next few weeks in February and March, I'm very glad to announce that we have 2 combo workshops in Singapore. It's a physical workshop. It will be conducted in Commonwealth Drive, which is our training center. And it is value for money. All 5 workshops for only $125 for combo 1 and combo 2. So we combine 2 workshops into the combo 1 and combine 3 workshops in combo 2. If you are interested to attend this, please register with the person who invited you. I'll hand back to Veronica to close the sessions. And those who are keen to stay back, we welcome you too. Yeah. Veron, back to you.
Thank you, Alvin. Thank you very much for this very, very informative talk. We are so happy to see so many people join us. I would like to share an experience about this human reset. You know, I go for walks every morning before I start work, and then I would bring my oil with me. And after the walk, when the sun's coming up, with the sun behind me, I'll start to do my human reset, remove my shoes, everything. I'll sit down somewhere and do my human reset. And usually when I work, you know, after lunch, after your lunch, you feel very sleepy. I'll fall asleep at my computer, brain cannot work. But after I do the human reset, I find that I can just get on with work and get my mind still alert, and I'm not falling asleep in spite of my lunch, having had lunch. So yes, it really energizes you. If you're not feeling well, you know, just do it and you will feel better almost immediately. The results are almost immediate. So it's really wonderful.
I'm very grateful that I took up the course. So after the course, every morning I still go to Pisang Park to have a walk. And then there's this particular morning, there's this Malay masjid with her helper walking towards me. And then she was telling me, sister, my helper cannot breathe. Her chest very pain. How? What to do? So I said, call ambulance. Yeah. So then after that, she said, okay, I call ambulance. But then you got oil with you. Can you do something for her or not? At the moment, whatever thing I learned in the class, the lung meridians, all this come in, because I know lung meridian can clear the blockage and then can open up the breathing path, you see. So I poured out my oil and then I let her breathe. I let her breathe, and then I rub on her nose. And then I took out her left hand, and then I stroked over the lung meridian. So while I was stroking her lung meridian, and then halfway through, the helper told the boss, say, Mama, I can breathe already, no need to go hospital. so, so I continue to do it. And then after a while, I'm feeling so grateful that last year I took the course. And then it's also not too early, not too late. Then the helper come to me at the right time. So I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for the course. Thank you.
And
Thank you, Jane.
I'm grateful to you for the willingness to step out. And I know the oil is very precious, but you are prepared to share it with the lady. Well done, Cheng. Yeah, a role model for all the rest of us. Yeah.
Ever since I finished my ambassador course,
Okay.
and I have been doing my one-on-one sessions with people around me. So from my own mom, for the audience here, you don't know, right? But my mom, she had her gallbladder removed after her surgery. I just wanted her to have better blood circulation, T power, energy, because she was, after surgery, you tend to be a bit more tired and everything. So I did the human reset every day for her. She enjoyed it because it's like she's got her home therapist at her literally at her feet, doing everything every day, right? I can really feel my mother, it's not about just the physical part, but the spirit, like the spirit feeling better, because I mean, when you are not well, it brings you down emotionally, mentally as well, not just physically. So practicing the human reset, but more than that, I mean, because of the ambassador course and the 5 workshops that I went through, and I learned so much. There's so much knowledge there, right? And so I also practice a lot of other meridian therapies on my mom to get her whole thing. Yeah, I mean, whether it's her lower back pain, okay, so basically at the end of the day, right, the human reset therapy is really like a first aid kit, just foundations, you know what I mean? So I really do encourage everyone, to just give it a shot. Go for the workshops first and learn.
Thank you so much, Audrey, for sharing. And thank you, Alvin, for imparting your knowledge to all of us.